Baddha Konasana, or cobbler's pose, butterfly, many different ways to say it, is what I'm going to show you here. And it really depends on the body. So using the principles once again, coming back to your framework, you observe, you assess. What I'm observing is, what does his Baddha Konasana look like? Well, in this body, I know that I can give a little more pressure, and I probably want to check in and see if he feels anything. But in a more normal person's body, sit up, they're a bit more rounded, okay? So you know that you want to root. You always want to have a rooting action and then a lengthening action. Those two together, those two counter actions, are really going to help the person stay safe and make the adjustment effective. So the rooting action in Baddha Konasana, you can open the knees just a little bit, good, is you take your hands right into the hip creases and you root the hips back and down. I prefer to have my thumbs in the hip creases and root it back and down. Then from here, my knees are doing the lengthening action. So I start right where his lower part of his back starts to round, and I guide forward. Okay, so I still have this rooting action going on as I guide forward. And for a normal body, they feel that already. For somebody who's really open like Hiro is, go ahead and go into your max. Because I'm small, I like to use my entire body. And I've actually, as a small person, been adjusted in this position by a larger person, and it still felt good. But you want to check in. So no injuries, right? He's got no injuries. Great. I'm going to stand on him. So I want to take the arch of my foot right where my hands were into the crease of his hip. So nice, soft, pillowy feet. My heel faces down because my feet are going to do the same thing my hands were, which is rooting back and down. Before I step up on both sides, I lean forward so that there's weight in my hands, and I do the other side. And look at the position of my heels. They're going down. Make sure they're rooting back and down. Then keeping one hand braced, I'll use my other hand. I take this free hand right to where his mid-back starts to round, and I guide forward. Okay, and I'm getting a nice calf stretch here as I'm doing it. If you're pretty good at this and you can balance, then using both of your hands is going to give your student a bit more of a stretch. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Does that feel good? And now he's kissing his toes. Now to come off, since you're probably teaching this towards the end of class, you want to be super gentle and slow. Hands back down, lean into the fingertips, and step off. Baddha Konasana.